The house on the Ganges. Place: a cottage at Belur besides the Ganges. Of the home by the Ganges, the master had said to one, "You will find that little house of Dhira Mata like heaven, for it is all love from beginning to end." It was so indeed, within an unbroken harmony, and without, everything alike beautiful. The green stretch of grass, the tall coconut palms, the little brown villages in the jungle, and the Nilkonto that built her nest in a treetop beside us on purpose to bring us the blessings of Shiva. In the morning, the shadows lay behind the house, but in the afternoons, we could sit in front, worshipping the Ganges herself, great leonine mother, and in sight of Dakshineshwar. There came one and another with traditions of the past, and we learnt of the Master's 8 years' wanderings, of the name changed from village to village, of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and of that sacred sorrow, too deep for words or for common sight, that one who loved had alone seen. And there too came the Master himself, with his stories of Uma and Shiva, of Radha and Krishna, and his fragments of song and poetry. It seemed as if he knew that the first material of a new consciousness must be a succession of vivid but isolated experiences, poured out without proper sequence, so as to provoke the mind of the learner to work for its own conception of order and relation. At any rate, whether he knew it or not, this was the canon of educational science that he unconsciously fulfilled. For the most part, it was the Indian religions that he portrayed for us, today dealing with one and tomorrow with another, his choice guided seemingly by the whim of the moment. But it was not religion only that he poured out upon us. Sometimes it would be history, again it would be folklore. On still another occasion, it would be the manifold anomalies and inconsistencies of race, caste, and custom. In fact, India herself became as heard in him as the last and noblest of the Puranas, uttering itself through his lips. Another point in which he had caught a great psychological secret was that of never trying to soften for us that which would at first sight be difficult or repellent. In matters Indian, he would rather put forward in its extreme form at the beginning of our experience all that it might seem impossible for European minds to enjoy. Thus, he would quote, for instance, some verse about Gauri and Shankar in a single form. On one side grows the hair in long black curls, and on the other corded like a rope. On one side are seen the beautiful garlands, on the other bone earrings and snake-like coils. One side is white with ashes, like the snow mountains, the other golden as the light of dawn. For he, the Lord, took a form, and that was a divided form, half woman and half man. And carried by his burning enthusiasm, It was possible to enter into these things and dimly, even then, to apprehend their meaning. Whatever might be the subject of the conversation, it ended always on the note of the infinite. Indeed, I do not know that our master's realization of the Advaita philosophy has been in anything more convincing than in this matter of his interpretation of the world. He might appear to take up any subject, literary, ethnological, or scientific, but he always made us feel it as an illustration of the ultimate vision. There was for him nothing secular. He had a loathing for bondage and a horror of those who cover chains with flowers. But he never failed to make the true critic's distinction between this and the highest forms of art. One day, we were receiving European guests, and he entered into a long talk about Persian poetry. Then suddenly, finding himself quoting the poem that says, "For one mole on the face of my beloved, I would give all the wealth of Samarkand," he turned and said energetically, "I would not give a straw, you know, for the man who was incapable of appreciating a love song." His talk, too, teemed with epigrams. It was that same afternoon, in the course of a long political argument, that he said, "In order to become a nation, it appears that we need a common hate as well as a common love." Several months later, he remarked that before one who had a mission, he never talked of any of the gods save Uma and Shiva. For Shiva and the mother made the great workers. Yet I have sometimes wondered if he knew at this time how the end of every theme was bhakti, much as he dreaded the luxury of spiritual emotion for those who might be enervated by it. He could not help giving glimpses of what it meant to be consumed with the intoxication of God. And so he would chant for us such poems as "They have made Radha queen in the beautiful groves of Vrindavan. At her gate stands Krishna on guard. His flute is singing all the time. Radha is about to distribute infinite wealth of love. Though I am guard, all the world may enter. Come all ye who thirst, say only, glory unto Radha, enter the region of love." Or he would give us the great antiphonal chorus of the cowherds written by his friend. "Men, thou art the soul of souls, thou yellow-garbed with thy blue eyes. Women, thou dark one, thou shepherd of Vrindavan, kneeling at the feet of the shepherdesses. Men, my soul sing the praise of the glory of the Lord who took the human form. Women, thy beauty for us, the gopis. Men, thou Lord of sacrifice, Savior of the weak. Women, who lovest Radha, and thy body floats on its own tears."